Here's another card that's been getting a lot of love recently. It's Drop Whimsicott. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to be taking a look at Whimsicott. It is a tool drop deck, or at least that's the name of the attack from the olden days, from back in the day. It's actually called Flying Fury now, but regardless, it's the same effect. We're going to try and deal a ton of damage by removing tool cards from our side of the field, and we'll try and take some knockouts that way. Now, this list has come from Nicola Zapula on Limitless, recently top-aided. I think it was the Sunday Open with this list. I can't remember exactly what it is, but if you want to check out that deck list and the run that they had in the tournament, then there is a link to their page on Limitless down below, so you can feel free to check that one out. Also, whilst you're down there, if you could like the video and subscribe, that would be great. Thank you to everyone who has liked the videos so far. Don't forget, there is going to be a Colossal versus ADP gameplay video coming up very, very soon. We actually reached that 200 like goal quite comfortably, so that game will be coming. It just hasn't been played yet, so be patient with me for a second. I thought my phone had just buzzed there, but it hadn't. This is awkward. Let's move on to PTCGO and see how this deck's going to work. So this list is incredibly cool. There's a lot of stuff going on, but first we will take a look at Whimsicott itself. It's got two pretty solid attacks, to be honest. Triple Draw for one colorless energy is a decent consistency attack. You probably don't want to be using it if you can get away with not playing that attack, then that would be great. But the real key is for one Psychic Energy, Flying Fury does 10 damage, plus 40 for every tool card we discard from our side of the field. Now that means we can discard up to 6, so if we're thinking mathematically, we can do 250 damage with Flying Fury if we discard 6 tool cards from our side of the field, and that's pretty solid. Like 250 damage for a 1 prize stage 1 attacker that attacks for 1 energy. That is pretty gosh darn good if you ask me. So this deck is going to be about trying to get that attack off as frequently and as powerfully as possible. And the way we're going to try and get our tool cards into play is by abusing U-turn board. U-turn board comes back to our hand after we discard it from play, which means that every turn we want to attack, we can do minimum 4 times 40. So we're going to be doing at least 100 and something damage. I don't know why I can't do the maths. 150 damage. No, 170 damage. Is it 170? Yeah, it's 170. That sounds about right. 170 damage base for 1 energy off of 4 U-turn boards. We can also use 2 lucky eggs in the deck. We've got 4 copies of Island Challenge Amulet, and we also have 4 copies of Air Balloon as well, which we can get rid of on top of our U-turn boards to get ourselves a massive attack off. Now let's talk about where we want to put these items first. Usually our lucky egg, if we get it early, we're going to want to attach it to our Whimsicott. That means that we're going to draw a bunch of cards if our Whimsicott gets knocked out. If we have less than 7 cards in our hand, Whimsicott gets knocked out, we draw up to 7. That can be really, really good early game consistency to help us find our energy. We have 4 copies of Horror Psychic and 2 copies of Basic Psychic, and that is the total amount of energy that we have, so we don't want to find ourselves missing those early, but we can also help find us some more of our other kind of tech Pokemon. Those tech Pokemon are going to probably find themselves with Island Challenge Amulet on them. We play 4 copies of this card, which reduces the HP of Pokemon GX or EX by 100, and then those cards give away 1 less prize. It means that Oricorio we can keep in play for only 1 prize. It has 70 HP instead of 170. Latios-GX we can keep in play, and also potentially Dedenne as well. Let's talk about Latios firstly. This card's a really cool inclusion. I like this a lot, specifically for that Clear Vision GX attack, which against ADP can potentially turn the game for you. So if you can get that GX attack off early, which is a little bit awkward considering the Power Bind ability, which means that we need to have 4 or fewer Pokemon. We need to have 4 or more Pokemon in play. No, not 4 or more, 5 or more Pokemon in play. Makes it a little bit awkward, but it's still definitely possible to get that GX attack off. And if you can, then ADP might not be such a big problem. Obviously, Oricorio with Dance of Tribute means that we can draw 3 cards every time one of our Pokemon gets knocked out, and we are going to get knocked out quite frequently because Whimsicott only has 90 HP, and it's also weak to what do you call it, metal, which means that things like things like the old Jirachi could knock it out. This one though, Dreamy Revelation, we're going to play a couple of copies of that. We're going to play 3, and that means we can place this into the active. Chuck a U-turn board on there and take a look at the top 2 cards and draw one of them, which is an incredibly powerful ability, really, really cool, and it means we get a little bit of extra added consistency as well. Now, I didn't mention Crobat V before when I was talking about tech cards. We can't play down our Island Challenge amulets on that, but we can, of course, play down Air Balloon, which will reduce the cost of every Pokemon's retreat in this deck to 0, because there are 0 Pokemon in here that have more than 2. Our only Pokemon that has 2 retreat is Hoopa with Evil Admonition. It's a neat little tech attacker, just to get a little bit of damage off, just in case you're kind of bricking early and you can't get an attack with your Whimsicott going. Remember, since you're doing 250 damage with Whimsicott pretty regularly, even if Evil Admonition only hits for 40 or so damage, maybe 50 damage, you're still going to get value out of it, so it's not the end of the world if that is the case. And finally, our last Pokemon in the deck is Phione with Whirlpool Suction. Sometimes our opponents will try and hide their Pokemon on the bench. Phione can bring them into the active if we've set up a position well enough. That is our Pokemon line. There's a lot going on here. We've got a lot of items that we want to attach them to, and we want to find them pretty quickly. So we're going to use 4 copies of Quick Ball and 4 copies of Great Ball to try and search those Pokemon out as quickly as possible. We also have 2 copies of Ordinary Rod, because our deck heavily relies on Stage 1 attackers. Whimsicott is a Stage 1 non-GX attacker, so Ordinary Rod is a must. There's 2 copies of this card. It can help us get our Whimsicotts back so we can keep attacking, and it can also get our Psychic Energy back, just in case we have to discard them in the early game. The rest of our trainer cards, we have 1 copy of Chaotic Swell, which can remove frustrating stadiums and also block out stadiums that might be a little bit more annoying for us. Things like Wonder Lab can be quite annoying. We want to get rid of that. We want to slow down decks early, and Chaotic Swell will do that. And we also have a copy of Tool Scrapper, which can get rid of some of those frustrating HP adding tools to our Pokemon, which are a little bit inconvenient, but we can also use it to discard our own if we want to. Maybe you've attached a U-turn board to a Pokemon that you now need to leave in the active on a turn when your opponent's going to take a knockout. You can replace it with a Lucky Egg if you want with Tool Scrapper, so there's a lot of flexibility there, but obviously we would much prefer get rid of our opponent's tools. Our supporter line is pretty consistent. We've got 4 copies of Research and 4 copies of Marnie, the 2 best supporter cards in the game. We have 2 copies of Boss, so that we can gust out a Pokemon that we might need to knock out later. And we also have Erica's Hospitality, a single copy of this card. Incredibly strong against the Eternatus. We can play this card if we have 4 cards or less in our hand, which we will quite often, and then draw a card for each of our opponent's Pokemon. So against Eternatus, it's going to be incredibly powerful. Against other decks, we might be expecting to draw between 4 and 6 cards, which is pretty solid, especially when we've got a big hand of items and tools that we want to chuck down. Now, I really like this list. I've obviously seen a couple of others floating around. I know Azul has been really big on this, played with Greedent. I know that he actually top 4'd one of the recent tournaments. It might have even been this exact tournament. I can't remember exactly when it was, but there are other people talking about this thing. It is actually really good. So good that Omnipoke ranked it as one of the top decks coming out of this set. And I don't disagree, frankly. It seems very powerful, and if you can get it going, there's pretty much nothing that can stop it. I mean, obviously ADP is quite powerful, but you know, we've got Latios-GX, so hopefully we can stop that GX attack from happening. What we're going to do is we're going to take this one out onto the ladder now. We'll see how it goes. I really like it. Hopefully it's going to live up to the billing. We are into our first game here with Whimsicott. I'm excited. We are not choosing whether to go first or second. I feel like this deck wants to go second more often than not. We want to get ourselves a supporter early. And you can see why. This is the type of hand that I don't like if I'm going first. We will be able to throw down the U-turn board here. We're going to lose a Whimsicott and an energy if we do research, but I would much rather that than having absolutely nothing and potentially losing next turn. So this is good. We'll see what our opponent is going to play here. They've got the San Francisco Worlds sleeves, which are really cool. It looks like we are up against a electric deck. Possibly a Pikarom, maybe something else. There are a few lightning decks floating around at the moment, but hey, the two cards that we've seen jumping out here, Suggest to Me Pikarom. And the really cool thing about this is that we can actually take a knockout on Pikachu and Zekrom in one hit with our Whimsicott if we discard every single tool card that we have in place. So 6. If we can get 6 tool cards discarded, we can knock out a Pikarom in one shot. Oh, it's our turn here. This is a terrible hand. This is just absolutely awful that none of these cards are playable, but that's okay. And we've been given nothing in return, so this is also pretty bad. We will quick ball away the Marnie. I'm going to grab a Cottonee. We need to get that down as soon as possible. We will play that. We'll attach the Lucky Egg to the Cottonee because if they knock that out, this is really bad. Dreamy Revelation for the Dedenne or Amulet. Now that's an interesting choice. I'm going to grab the Amulet and put the Dedenne on top. That seems fine. And then we'll pass. This is not like an amazing situation to be in, but at least it's acceptable. We've got the Jirachi in the active. If it gets knocked out next turn, then we can put the Cottonee up. If the Cottonee gets knocked out, we draw a bunch of cards and hope for the best. But we should be relatively comfortable here as long as everything goes according to plan for us. We see a Speed Lightning Energy onto that Pikarom. So they're just one energy away from being able to full blitz. They knock out the Jirachi, that's fine. Dedenne is... Oh, sorry, not the Dedenne. Marnie is coming into our hand. We're drawing Dedenne because it's on the top of the deck. That's what I'm trying to say, right? We leave the Dedenne on the top of the deck so that if this happens, we've got something to draw. And frankly, we've just come into a pretty decent hand. Now, it's disappointing. We're going to lose the other Ordinary Rod and the Tool Scrapper, but at least we can play that for some effect, the Ordinary Rod. You never know, maybe they'll throw down like a Big Charm or something and we can get rid of that. But, you know, it's not... Oh my god, I'm a psychic. Okay, here we go. We have Air Balloon in the active. We can quick ball away the Ordinary Rod. We won't worry about it. We're going to take knockouts before we lose the game. We'll play the Tool Scrapper, get rid of that Big Charm. Big Charm. There we go. Finally clicked it. And then Dedenne will draw a bunch of cards. Hopefully we can find ourselves an Energy and a Whimsicott. Doesn't look like it. We can obviously evolve here. We can play down the Great Ball and the Quick Ball if we want, or we can use Dreamy Revelation first, which I don't mind. Both of these are pretty good. U-turn board, though, is the one that I'm going to go with right now because we can play it immediately. Then we can play Great Ball. We will find a Marnie in here, but a Cottonee as well seems pretty good. Let's play that Cottonee down. Then I can quick ball away the Jirachi. Find the Crobat, I suppose. And then we will play Erica's for 4. And we do find the energy here, which is really good. We actually find all 6 items, which is really good. But unfortunately, I don't think we can knock out here. So we need to make a decision. I'm going to get rid of all of the U-turn boards. I don't think we need to do anything other than that. I think we can just play all of those U-turn boards. Remove all of them and half hit. That should be fine, because we need to attack twice more now. If we get given the opportunity, twice more to attack to knock out the Pikarom, which they're no doubt going to want to attack with here. They're switching into it now. They've got a Crobat, so they just need to find an energy. So yeah, we just need to get that going, and then we should be fine. So there's the full blitz. They'll probably power up the Raichu, or maybe the Boltund, and we'll draw a couple of cards. And okay, they're putting all of their energy onto the active. That seems like a mistake, because now if we draw energy Whimsicott, we probably win. So let's try and do that then, I guess. Because yeah, we're gonna do more than enough. Let's just play down these U-turn boards. We'll throw those into the field of play. Yeah, this is fine. Then we can Dreamy Revelation or Crobat. I think the Crobat is probably fine. We'll draw 2 cards. We've still got Research and Dreamy Revelation. There's a Lucky Egg, so another tool. If we get Whimsicott here, that would be great. No, we don't. Okay. So we've got another tool. We can put that down on the Crobat. Now we are going to Research. We need to find Energy Whimsicott. There's Energy. There's Whimsicott. Okay. We have a knockout on the active Pikachu and Zekrom. And I reckon this is probably going to be more than enough to win the game. I mean, there's nothing that they can realistically do next turn. They have no energy left. We can Dreamy Revelation still. I like the boss. Top decking the boss is going to be sick. And then we can retreat into our Whimsicott. and discard all of our tools. Ding, 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 ding. 6 tools discarded is 250 damage. More than enough to take a knockout on this Pikarom. And now all we need to do is attach an energy and boss up that Raichu, or wait until our opponent passes and gives us the game. So we're looking pretty good here. Got a bunch of GX Pokemon that are now completely useless. And yeah, we just wait on our opponent. I think we've done it. I think we've just completely destroyed Pikarom in one move. Yeah, there it goes. He shouldn't have full blitzed to himself. It was a mistake. Alrighty, so in between games here, I've actually gone to the gym and eaten some dinner and stuff. So my hair might be slightly different. We've got ourselves another game. I cannot remember what happened to the last one, frankly, but this looks like a pretty good start. We've got 2 Cottonee here. Going second is pretty good as well. We've got Marnie and Dedenne-GX. What are we playing against here? Is this Luca Metal? Are we going to be going up against Lucario Melmetal here? We might be. Let's draw, see what we can get. A Quick Ball seems pretty good, and it does look like it is Luca Metal. Now, this is a very, very good deck. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that we're not going to be able to deal with this. Metal Goggles is a pain. I think Luca Metal is going to be a problem. It might just be a problem. We'll try our best. I'm going to keep this one in regardless, unless it's terrible. If I get a decent game out of this, I'm going to keep it in. We're going to see how we go. They got a double Zacian. Wow, okay, that's annoying. Right, we've got 2 Island Challenge amulets here, a Great Ball and a Quick Ball. Let's play the Great Ball first. We might grab another Cottonee. We might as well grab that one here. We can throw that down. We can Quick Ball away one of those amulets. Let's grab ourselves a Jirachi. That seems pretty good also. Then we can Marnie. Is it better? We'll play down this challenge amulet. Then we'll Marnie. Hopefully we can find ourselves a way to retreat. Air Balloon looks pretty good. We can go into our Jirachi and then use the ability to try and draw some more cards. We also have Energy, which is fantastic. I could probably Dreamy Revelation first. I'm going to grab this Marnie. Supporter for next term seems pretty good. Let's Great Ball as well. See what we can find. A Crobat. Okay, we could even play that right now if we want to. And attach. Let's attach to this Cottonee over here. Let's just pass. No, let's Crobat. We'll Crobat for 3. This is fine. Probably could have attached the Air Balloon as well, but that's you know, it is what it is. Right. So, now, let's see. They can knock out this Jirachi pretty comfortably. They just attach an energy, or they can Brave Blade for knockout. I want to try and find my Tool Scrapper at some point. That second Metal Goggles means that now I really want to find Tool Scrapper. If I can find Tool Scrapper and remove that, that would be brilliant. Also, the longer I keep the Luca Metal from attacking, the better. If they don't attack with Luca Metal's GX attack, the more likely I am to be able to get a knockout on some of these attackers. So, I'm feeling acceptable. There's that Tool Scrapper I was talking about. We are, unfortunately, though, going to lose this Jirachi, so I have to hope that I top deck into something here, because otherwise we could be in a bit of trouble. I don't have the numbers to take a knockout here. Island Challenge Amulet, we can play that down on the Crobat. Then we can throw this this Whimsicott up. Let's get rid of the tools now. Just in case. And then I can attach the U-turn board. And we can Flying Fury for not enough damage. We do get the U-turn board back though. And our opponent doesn't get to use Brave Blade this turn unless they switch twice. So we have a pretty good chance. We just need to top deck into another supporter next turn. Crushing Hammer is bad. Luckily we passed. Well, not passed. Luckily we didn't get Tails. We did get... Ugh, my god. Luckily we got Tails. Gives us a chance. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. What we might be able to do is triple draw. Oh, that Malwan is so bad. Okay, so now we definitely will triple draw. If that Malwan hadn't have happened, we might have been able to get a solid attack off. But now they might just retreat into the Zacian and hit into us, which would be horrific. They will at least take 20 damage, so if we top deck a supporter here, we could be in the clear. Wait and see. 20 extra damage. We will try and get something going. What do we got? We got a Jirachi. That's a solid top deck. We can throw the U-turn board on the Cottonee and then retreat into Jirachi to Dreamy Revelation. Okay, neither of these cards are particularly good, but we can at least grab the U-turn board. We can put that on the Crobat and then pass. Probably should have put that on the active. Seems like a bad choice. Okay, so we've got 2 cards to look at because we're going to top deck a Whimsicott here. We need to see 2 more cards after that to try and find access to a supporter. And if we do find a supporter, we might be able to get ourselves an attack. Quick Ball. Okay, I can live with that. Quick Ball can get rid of Chaotic Swell, and we can draw some cards with Dedenne. So let's do that. We'll get rid of the Chaotic Swell, grab Dedenne, and play it. Let's draw 6 and see what we can find. We've got a couple of Great Balls and a Ericas and a couple of Marnies. Let's just grab some Pokemon here. We'll see what we can find. I like that Whimsicott. That seems pretty good. Okay. What do we do here? Kind of like playing down the Hoopa and then Erica. Just for 3. We can save the Marnie for next turn. This is pretty good. Okay, so what we can do is we can put the Lucky Egg on the active and then pass. It'll give us an extra card to draw for next turn, or an extra couple of cards. We do have Marnies and Researchers, so we can get that going. Unfortunately, they will be 3 prizes in front before we really get to do anything. Which sucks, but it could be worse. We also have the Oricorio already in play. They're going to boss around this Jirachi. They're going to boss up the Crobat and Brave Blade that. Fair enough. Well, we can't really afford to play down the Oricorio and the Dedenne now. Because they could just gust that up and knock us out. I think now we're going to need to try to get something going on here. We will play down the Oricorio. I need to get a knockout. Let's Marnie, draw some cards off of the Oricorio, try and get an energy, and then we can get a knockout from there. We've managed to find all of our cards, really, that we're looking for. Got a Horror Psychic, we can attach that there. Let's play down the Challenge Amulet on the Oricorio, and the U-turn board will Dance of Tribute, try and draw some more. We've got a Air Balloon for next turn, which is pretty good. Let's Flying Fury. We're going to get rid of 1, 2, and 3. So that's 4, 6, 12, 13. We need 1 more. Let's go for the Air Balloon on the Dedenne, I think. That seems fine. Yeah. So we'll get rid of the Air Balloon, keep the Lucky Egg just in case, and we get the knockout. Now what we have to do is we have to hope that our opponent can't capitalize on this kind of break in play. We can hit pretty hard. They can't currently knock us out. So they would need to have Energy, Switch, and Metal Saucer to knock out with Luca Metal, which it doesn't look like they have. They could just go full Metal Wall, which I don't dislike. It's obviously not ideal, but we do have a bunch of tools left over. They're going to go for Guzmahala here. Going to get rid of a couple of pocket monsters. Try and find a Stadium, a tool, and a energy. Coding and Big Charm seem like good inclusions. And that's the thing with this deck now, right? Is that now that Coding Energy is in the deck, Guzmahala is so powerful. Just find so many quality tools. I think they're probably going to attach to the active here and then full Metal Wall. We're not going to be able to one-shot, but we are in a position where we could potentially steal a game. Just depends, of course, what these last 2 cards in hand are. So we need to half-hit this Luca Metal, then they'll Steel Fist us, knock out the Whimsicott because they've got weakness, and then we're going to need to try and knock out the Zamazenta before they can power it up. There's a Metal Saucer, and then the full Metal Wall. Okay, so we are now doing 30 less damage. Let's attach all these U-turn boards again. We can throw all of those down. We're going to put the Air Balloon on the Hoopa. Let's attach an Energy. And then I think we're just Flying Fury. We will discard 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is going to be what? It's going to be a plenty, but it's going to be reduced by 30, so 120. Did I just screw myself? If I had gotten one more there, I would have been able to... if I had gone for one more there, I would have been able to get the knockout, I think. I think I had to get rid of one more tool. Because the maximum amount I can do next turn is 250 minus 30. So it's going to be 220. Maybe I can get the knockout? I don't know. I think I might have stuffed myself. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know. I might have stuffed that up pretty bad. There's another U-turn board. That's good. So we can play down the U-turn board. We can quick ball away the rod to grab... I know it doesn't really matter. Let's just grab the Phione. Actually, let's grab the Jirachi because we can put a U-turn board on Jirachi. That seems pretty good. We would throw that down. We'll throw the U-turn board down on the Dedenne and the Hoopa. I'm going to put the Horror Psychic on the active, and then let's Dance of Tribute now. I'm going to go looking for Boss, and we've got it there, so we don't need to play any supporters. Let's just think. I think I still knock out this Luca Metal even with, even in this currently average situation if I do discard all of my tools. So let's just 1, 2, 3. We'll definitely get rid of all the U-turn boards. So we'll get rid of those 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, plus 10. So that's 210, 250, minus 30 is 220. Yeah, we're going to be able to knock this out. I think I'll just get rid of all these tools. In fact, we might not even need this one. The Oricorio can keep the thing. Let's get rid of everything else. Take the knockout. And we are really, really close here to being able to take the win. Bearing in mind that we went down 4 prizes in this game. Alright, so we are super close to being able to win this. We went down 4 prizes. That Marnie is so painful. It's unbelievable. We lose all of our tools. We still have a chance. We just need to draw into a supporter. We've got Marnie and Research. They attach an energy. Okay, so now we need to draw into 5 tools, is it? We need to do 200 and... Oh, we can never knock this Zamazenta out in one shot. I don't think we can knock this Zamazenta out in one shot. I think with the maximum amount of damage we can do is 220. Because if we discard 6, we go to 250. But what we can do is we can potentially force a sudden death here if we get there. Plus, we are in a we're in a less than ideal spot regardless. Let's go Air Balloon, Lucky Egg. We've got no. I don't think that we can win with no without 5 there. We needed an extra 2 tools to try and win this. We can then Flying Fury. We'll just get rid of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. Let's just get rid of them all. We're hoping that they miss energy. If they've missed energy, we have a chance to win. But ironically, even if they do miss energy, we might still be in trouble. Because we need to deal a lot more damage. We need to top deck another supporter this turn, I think. This is uncomfortably tight. It doesn't look like they have the energy, and they still have 26 cards left in deck, so it's not a guaranteed thing for them. They're actually playing down another Luca Metal, and then they're going to Mallow and Lana into it. That is frustrating, to say the very least. Okay. What is their last card? Is it an energy? It's a Metal Saucer. Okay. They have no cards in hand. They are looking for switch. I'm going to attach the U-turn board. Then I think... Oh, actually, what I should have done is I should have retreated. Oh, actually, no, I can... Oh, I clicked the wrong attack. That was dumb. I should have triple drawn. Oh my god, I would have drawn half of my deck. Okay. So you're saying there's still a chance. U-turn board, U-turn board. Triple draw? Triple draw. 1, 2, 3. We have boss. We have U-turn board. Tool scrapper. Doesn't do anything. U-turn board. I don't even know if I have enough time. Let's just attack. I don't know if I've even got enough time to take a knockout on this Lucametal. 120. I need all 3 turns. So if they miss the switch for 2 more turns, well played. That means you have it. No! Oh, so disappointing. Oh well. Hey, listen, this worked out pretty well. We had a really good chance of winning that game. We just needed to, if I had have triple drawn instead of attacking on that turn, I think I would have had enough time to get there. Oh well. So only 2 games today, but I think that last one was actually the best one that I've recorded for a while. I had a really good chance to beat Lucametal, and Lucametal is one of the top tier decks at the moment. I feel like if I hadn't have made that misplay at the end, I might have had enough time to potentially steal the win, but hey, there's not much that can be done about that. It was a very good game in the end, and it's just testament to how strong Whimsicott is, that it can still come back from really, really poor positions to try and win games like that. So I would 100% recommend it. I don't know how I feel about the tag purge at the moment, the Latios-GX. It's a little bit of an iffy one, but I still think it could potentially help against ADP. In fact, it probably could have helped in that matchup by removing the GX attack of Lucametal, but we didn't quite get to it in time. Regardless, a really, really cool list, one that's a lot of fun, and one that's relatively cheap as well, so you can afford to pick it up pretty easily on PTCGO. Thank you very much for your patronage again today, for coming past. I really appreciate it. So many more people are jumping on board by subscribing and liking the videos as well, commenting down below. I really, really appreciate that interaction. It means a lot to wake up in the morning and see so many people engaging with the content. I really appreciate it. Apart from that, without gushing any more, I'll leave you be. Thank you very much, everyone. I will see you next time for more from the Sableyes.